Hey guys, so I'm going to do it a little bit different this time. I'm in my house instead of my car. I am going to talk about the Pace apartments and I'm going to tell you the pros and the cons and if I would recommend this to anybody. So first, I'm going to talk about the crime, sex offenders, and a little bit about the apartment, like the fees and stuff and how much you have to make. If you do want to see the full depth video on these apartments, I'm going to leave it down below. That way you can just click it and then it'll take you to that video, and then that way you can see like how far everything is out from these apartments. Okay, so the Pace apartments are open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, they are closed. So deposits and fees. Application fee is $50 per applicant. Admin fee is $200 per apartment home. Security deposit is $300 or $300 plus 1 month's rent. It's based on credit. It says acceptable payment methods are checks, credit card, and certified funds. No cash accepted. Application policies is all occupants must be listed on the application. Application fee is applied to all applicants 18 years and older. Application fee, admin fee, and security deposits are due with completed application. Admin fee may be refunded if cancelled within 72 hours of applying or upon denial of application. All proof of income documents will be verified for legitimacy. And then it says insurance. It says required liability coverage is policy coverage no less than $300,000 in personal liability. All leaseholders must be listed on policy or have a separate policy. Your physical address must match the apartment you reside in. And then utilities. So they do have valet trash. It is $35 a month. And then water, sewer is based on usage, billed through RealPage. Electric is Nevada Energy, individual metered and billed, account required at move-in. Cable internet, and this is optional, is Cox Communication. So pet fee is $350 pet, and then pet rent is going to be $35 a month. And then it says 2 pets maximum, cats and dogs only. We do not allow pit bulls or any mix combination of this breed. Based on our community's location, there may be other breed restrictions that we follow in accordance with law, which I will say that is not correct. Pets must be approved prior to occupancy. Pet photo and update shot records are required. This is optional. They do have detached garage for $175 a month. Now this is a summarized crime count. They have 0 homicides, 15 sex offenses, 38 aggravated assault, 12 robberies, 77 burglaries, 287 larceny, 98 motor vehicle theft, 5 embezzlement, 80 drugs and narcotics, 2 arson, 5 forgery, 96 destruction of property, 6 stolen property, 46 fraud, 1 extortion, and 0 bribery. And then with the sex offenders, you guys, you do have 3 that came up, but the one that says number 1 is unhoused. So that person does not have a house, and I'm guessing that he just is in this location or around this location is my understanding. Okay, so with the crime map, you guys, I was pretty blown away. I didn't think that it was that bad, but it started to get that bad, and me and Richard could definitely see the change in that area pretty quick. So also, you guys, with these apartments, you do have to make 2.75 times base rent. Right now, the 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom is starting at $1465. The 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom is starting at $1820, and the 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom is starting at $2370. So I'm also going to leave their website down below. That way you can definitely check them out as well. Okay, so I'm going to go with the pros and then the cons of this apartment. So the pros is location, but it's also negative. So just yeah, we'll get to that one after. But location, I feel like it's a prime location. You're so close to everything. You're like 4 minutes away from Walmart. You're 8 minutes on good traffic away from Target. But you're also so close to a lot of fast food restaurants and also restaurants. You are down the street from a hospital. You have the freeway really close to you. And you also have IKEA, and then you have the Arroyo Plaza as well. That is about 10-minute drive. So everything is really close, and you're close to Durango Casino, the Uncommons. So you're just, it is a prime location, I believe, because it is just so close to everything. So you don't have to drive that far, which that's why we chose that one at the time, because we lived downtown for so long that we didn't have any of that so close. So when we lived at the Pace, it was definitely really nice to have everything so close by. So that is one thing I liked about the Pace. Also, it does have a luxury feel inside. I feel like the apartment inside looks very high end. I love that it has high ceilings. I love that the appliances look like really high-end finishes. I feel like they are a lot better than some in the Evora or the Uncommons. I really did like the inside of the Pace apartments. I just loved the lights under the cabinets. I love the cabinet color, the flooring. So yeah, I really didn't have any issue with the inside of the apartment. But outside kind of just looked like your typical new construction apartment. So there wasn't anything that was like, wow. So yeah, so that was one thing. Maintenance, I really never had an issue with maintenance. I feel like when me and Richard had an issue inside the apartment, they would literally come and fix it ASAP. And one thing I did appreciate about the maintenance guy is that he literally came in. He said, like, where is the issue? You would point the issue out, and he would literally just do that. Like, he wouldn't sit there and talk with you or chit chat with you. So I appreciate that when Richard wasn't home. So you know, because I personally don't like when maintenance like keep having conversations and, you know, ask me questions and stuff. I just personally don't like that. I just want you to come, fix the problem, and just leave. I don't know, that's just me, you know. I feel a little uncomfortable, so I just don't want to be put in that position. So I really appreciate that maintenance wasn't like creeps. So yeah, I really appreciated that they just came in, they fixed it, left. So that's one thing. Also management, I didn't have an issue with management. I know I saw some reviews that they had issue with management, but me personally, like, again, I am just talking about my experience. Me and Richard never had an issue. I think that management was great when it came to coming up with solutions, fixing them if we had an issue. So I never had an issue with management. And also, I really appreciated the fact that they allowed me and Richard to clean the apartment so we can get most of our deposit back. They allowed us to do that, which most apartments don't. They want to charge you, and that is one thing that I appreciate about the Pace, is that they just allowed us to clean. And to be honest, you guys, we got most of our deposit back, just minus $90, which was the utilities for October and 10 days of November. So that's all they kept. They pretty much gave us all back the deposit, and it was given to us within, I would say, 3 weeks when we moved out. So yeah, I to be honest, I find that to be something that I appreciate, because the last 2 previous apartments that we lived in Vegas or downtown, they were really shady. So I had a really bad taste in my mouth. So I was a little hesitant with Pace, but they proved me wrong, and they did good by us, and they gave us all our deposit back. So I really did appreciate that from them. Also, you do have plenty of parking, you guys. It is covered, so that is one thing I liked, is that you pretty much had a lot of space. We never had issues on not getting like a good parking, or you know, we would have issues with other people. No, we always had covered parking, especially in the summer. You have to have covered parking because your car and the battery are gonna fry, let's just be honest. So yeah, I did appreciate that. Also with the homelessness, now I feel like because Vegas is pretty small compared to big cities like Los Angeles, New York, I feel like you do see a lot of homelessness around pretty much everywhere in the whole of Las Vegas, even in Summerlin, which is considered like, you know, the luxurious area. But I do believe that's because it's pretty small compared to the other cities. So I personally only saw about 5 homelessness compared to obviously where I used to live in the art district and near Fremont Street. So obviously there I saw a lot of them. But when we lived at Pace, because it's not a gated community, I only saw one person go through the trash, and I never saw that person ever again. And I never saw anyone go through the trash ever again since the one incident that I saw. Also, where the apartments are, there is a wash behind them. I did see probably about 3 or 4 homeless people going into the tunnels. So that is the only thing that I saw, because we would obviously take OZZIE for a walk, and we would walk through the complex ourselves. So yeah, I think I saw about 3 or 4 homeless people. They never came, you know, across the fence or anything like that. Even though there was a hole in the fence, I just never saw any of them come across. But yeah, they were walking down the tunnels. So I didn't see an issue the way that I saw it, you know, in the downtown areas. But obviously the closer you get to Walmart, Target, you know, you do see them there near the petrol stations, near McDonald's. So you do see them there, like on Fort Apache area. So but yeah, as I was living in the Pace, I never had an issue, and we lived on the first floor. So yeah, we never had an issues, you know, someone coming over our balcony, stealing our chairs, stealing our skateboards. It was always safe. So that is one thing. But the crime count is weird, because the crime count is insane. Like, I feel like crime just went up like a lot since we lived there. So it's crazy. So yeah, we would walk at night with no issues. You do have a petrol station behind the apartment. It is 24-hour, which I appreciated it, because it does have a car wash and free vacuum. So that was a little bit, you know, bit of a good plus, you know, so we wouldn't have to drive that far to fill up the tank or anything. So to me, I thought that was pretty good. Again, great appliances, high ceilings. The gym was okay. It wasn't anything that I would be like, oh my God, you know, like this is insane. No, but it definitely had everything that you need to get a good workout. Also, sometimes the coffee machine would be broken, which was a bit annoying, because you're paying for those things, right? You're paying for the pool, the gym, the coffee station, the barbecue area, the fire pit. You're paying for those things, regardless of what they say, like, oh, well, it's a compliment. No, it's not complimentary. We're paying for that. So I thought sometimes when the coffee machine wouldn't work, which was a little bit often, it would be annoying, because, you know, obviously you want to get a cup of coffee and go about your day. So but yeah, most of the time it was okay. I wouldn't say anything bad about it. I just wish that it would always work, you know. So I guess that is a pro and a con. Okay, so throughout the summer, the main barbecue area, which is close to the fire pit, was closed. I do believe that someone either misused it, or they just left a lot of mess. and basically they put it out of order and it just stopped, like we couldn't use it. So that one was a bit annoying. So I think that's a bit of a con, but I would say this, the area was nice, like the barbecue area, the fire pit. It is nice to go and sit down and just have a chit chat, you know. But yeah, so close to everything. The car was safe, like our car was pretty safe, even though it wasn't a gated community. I feel like we never had an issue with anything. So yeah, I would say that me and Richard, no one ever was, you know, trying to steal our car. I never saw anyone trying to steal a car in the complex. I think I only saw a cop car once. I'm not sure what it was for, but that is the only time I saw the cop. And most of the time they have security patrolling the complex. Okay, so con. Location. As I was saying when I was doing the pros, it is a good and a bad thing. Location can be a con because you're right in the middle of everything, right? So you are going to get heavy traffic, and it started to build for us, and that is probably one thing that we didn't like at the end, how much traffic there was. And it's obviously because when the strip is having some major construction, obviously people try and find, you know, some way to get out of the strip. And so the freeway that was close to that apartment was getting really busy, like it was insane. So that to me was definitely a con, because traffic started to build up, and then obviously more things started to get built there, like Starbucks, other shops, and obviously people would just go through that area. So Fort Apache and Russell were a nightmare to get out from, around like the traffic time, right? Between, I would say 3 and 6, it was like a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. So that is a big con, and that is one of the reasons why we left that area. Was just due to the traffic being pretty heavy. So yeah, the outside is not so luxury. You do have the entrance and exit point. One thing that really annoyed me is that it is not a gated apartment, but the second exit, which is going through the petrol station, has a gate, and it was never open. Like, I feel like if it was just left open, it would just be another easy accessible exit to get out from. Instead of going through Russell, you can just go through Fort Apache straight to Walmart. So I just feel like I hated the fact that it's not a gated community, but yet that gate was never open. So it got really annoying. Again, that's just a little bit of a pet peeve. Also, neighbors do not pick after the dog. Listen, yeah, I felt like within the 6 months that we were there, it changed. Like, the community changed. The people that were coming were different, and they were, you know, they had different dogs. And that is one thing that I will say, like, even though on their application statement they say like, oh, like we don't allow pit bulls, like there were plenty of pit bulls. There were a lot of pit bulls, there were a lot of German Shepherds, and I personally don't have a problem with those kind of dogs. But the thing is, the owners I have an issue with. Like, those dogs, when they go to do number 2, it's like a human number 2. So it was disgusting, you know, and it just was everywhere. And that attracted a lot of cockroaches, especially during the summer. It was bad. But that being said, I will say this, maintenance tried their very best. Every single day, I would see them wash the sidewalk outside the complex and inside the complex, and they really tried to keep it clean. But obviously you're dealing with 2 guys that are maintenance, and you're dealing with like 200 units which have people. So, you know, obviously we outnumbered the maintenance guys. So they can't always be cleaning everything, you know, and so you expect your neighbors to try and, you know, pick up their dog stuff. But yeah, that was annoying. And where we would take Ozzy, I swear to you, from the day we moved to the day we left, I never found out who the person was, and I never found out who the dog was, but there was a dog that was so sick that would literally splat everywhere on the footpath and on the gravel near the barbecue area, and the owner would just never pick it up. Like, it was just, and they wouldn't even attempt to try to clean it. Like, it was just straight up water diarrhea. And I felt so bad for the dog, because I was like, okay, it's been a year and that dog keeps doing that. And I just felt bad that the owner just didn't give a shit and didn't take him to the vet or her to the vet. So that was disgusting, because it just wasn't like a small pile. It was like splats, and it was disgusting. And you know, obviously that would attract flies, that would attract a lot of cockroaches, especially during the summer. It was disgusting. So yeah, it's funny how they say like, oh, we do restrictions, but you go into that complex and pretty much you see a lot of pit bulls, a lot of big dogs, a lot of the dogs that, you know, are mentioned on the application that they don't approve. So I'm like, doesn't make sense, but okay. The dog park was disgusting. I never took Ozzy back. I personally hate when apartments use the fake grass, because unless you are going to wash it every single day with soap, water, and clean that every single day, I would say don't have it, you know, because I prefer just dirt opposed to the fake grass. Because with fake grasses, if someone's dog has diarrhea, you can't just pick it up, you know what I mean? You can't even just cut the grass and just take it with you. So because of that, I feel like they weren't on top of cleaning the fake grass. So I never took Ozzy back. I thought it was disgusting. I saw so many cockroaches in that park, and I was just like, no. Even when they put the cameras, nothing was done. So I stopped taking Ozzy there, because I just don't want him to get sick. I don't want him to catch anything. So I stopped taking him there. So that's one thing that I was really annoyed about. The loud noises, I would say, came a lot from people driving inside the complex. There was a guy that had like a Charger, and he would just rev that like completely. Like if he was in the F1, and I'm like, dude, you're just here, you're just in the Pace Apartments, like it's the shortest little road, and he's like flying. So that was really annoying, because he would leave the complex around like 12 and like at night. So yeah, it was just super loud and very annoying. Like, ain't nobody watching you, so why are you doing it? So that was annoying. With the smoking of weed, that is one issue that I had with the neighbor upstairs. They would smoke weed inside their apartment, so the smell would come through the aircon, and that was quite annoying. Again, I don't have an issue with people smoking weed, you know, that's their choice. I personally just don't like the smell. Listen, I smoked it a lot when I was younger. Eventually I just couldn't stand the smell. So I think for me, it's about that. It's the smell. I can't stand it. It just, yeah, it just grosses me out. So that was one thing that was annoying, that throughout the complex people were smoking and smoking weed, and even though it was a smoke-free apartment, they would still smoke it, and no one really told them off. So that was a bit annoying. Okay, also, when we first moved to the Pace, they would have events every single month, and then literally January 2024 stopped. Like they barely had any events. They just stopped. I feel like either they changed owners, because that is the reason why we didn't renew. I feel like within a couple of months they changed owners, and you can definitely feel the difference, because they were doing events, they were giving out gift cards, they were, you know, they were really engaging with the community. And then as soon as January 2024 came, it just like completely stopped. And I do believe that that is because they changed, you know, owners. The spa was closed during the summer, which was annoying. but it was closed. The neighbors again were pretty dirty. Some of them were pretty dirty with their dogs, and bugs. That is one thing. So here in Las Vegas, I will say that Vegas has some disgusting pipes. The pipes down the down, I don't know what to call them, but the pipes that basically filter water, and the sewer pipes, there we go. Jesus. Yeah, so he said the sewer pipes back in the day, and I mean back in the day, like I mean 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, the sewer pipes were made with wood. So in the whole of Las Vegas. He goes, that is, obviously the wood is rotten, which means there are a lot of, you know, bursting pipes, and just, it's disgusting. He's like, it's pretty bad. He's like, so what we're doing is we're replacing all of those pipes that were made by wood. And he's like, and it's pretty disgusting. So I feel that it is, because even though we lived in a nice area, there were so many cockroaches, you guys. Like, combine that with, you know, people not picking up their dog stuff, combined with bad sewer pipes, it was a lot. Like, we dealt with a lot of cockroaches, but not inside the apartment, just always outside. But me and Richard were pretty, like, we would always spray stuff. But during the summer, there were these bugs. I don't know what they're called, but I'll put a picture of them. There was about 12 to 15 inside our apartment, and it was pretty gross. And no matter how much we had pest control coming, I just feel that, I think they were like garden bugs, but I feel like because it's so hot, they would come through the doors. And even though we would put towels under, like a few would always just come, and that was kind of gross. And I think one time Ozzy did eat one, and he got a pretty bad stomach ache. And ever since then, me and Richard like always sprayed at night, and we would cover it, and but they would still come in. I don't know how, but they would still come in. So that was quite annoying, but that's what you get when you live on the first floor. And the reason for that is because we do have a dog, and he is small, and he has tiny little hands. And yeah, he never goes on the stairs. We always have to carry him. Poor little guy, he doesn't know how to climb the stairs. He just will fall, and no, that will never happen, because we always have to hold him. So but yeah, you guys, look, that is my pros and cons to the Pace apartments. Now, would I recommend this to anybody? Yeah, I would still recommend it, because even though there were cons, I personally loved the inside. I loved the unit. I love that management wasn't shady. I love the fact that the maintenance people weren't shady either. And it is a great location. You know, I don't have anything bad to say to be like, no, you stay away from these apartments. No, like if someone asked me to live at the 211, I would say keep looking, because that place was a nightmare. But the Pace, I have no issues with it, truly. But I am gonna tell you the pros and the cons, and then if you say, hey, like that's just not for me, that's fine. You know what I mean? That's fine. But if this is in your list, definitely go have a look, have a check, go tour the apartment, have a feel for it, and see if you like it. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this to people. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about Pace. I miss the kitchen a lot. I don't like my dishwasher, because this is full plastic. The other one was high end. So this one has already given me trouble, which is annoying. But yeah, you guys, if you like this video, give it a good thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, you guys, and turn on that post notification bell. That way, as soon as I upload a video, YouTube will let you know. So yeah, you guys, I will see you in my next video.